Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to focus on talking about the past and the wish fulfilled, and also touching a bit on the future. I'll see if I have time. I want you to understand the most important thing about the past. The past is only relevant when you give attention to it. The past is the old story. The past is your old identity. And the past is what is reflecting from your 3D back to you. So if you are manifesting and you are not seeing things shift, you have to check to see where you're putting your attention. If you are looking at yourself from the past version, you cannot be double-minded. And double-minded is when you are living from the old version of your past while creating the new version of who you want to be now. You can't be in both at once. Then the manifestation will not be reflected back. You have to put your focus on one state of being, on one identity within yourself. So when you deliberately focus on that state and give only that your attention is when you're going to start to see things shift in your 3D. The past, the old story, your old beliefs, your limited thinking, it's going to be there until you continuously stop giving it attention and you start to only focus on the version of you that has your end desire. So the more persistent you are with the new identity, the new version of you that has whatever it is that you're working on, that desire, that will shut out all that other noise from your old self. In the beginning, the old self and your ego and your logical mind is going to be loud. It's going to be there. It might show up in other people. People might say things to you. I want to be very clear. When you are manifesting something, do it privately. Do not share with other people what you're doing, because there's a lot of people that don't understand the law of assumption. They don't understand manifesting. They don't believe that it's possible. You don't want that type of energy coming at you while you're first solidifying a state, okay? Because you're in a vulnerable place, you're working on something, you're creating something. You know, think of it like a private project that you don't want to show, or a book or a painting. You're not going to show it to everyone before it's done, okay? So I want you to be really, really clear on what you're focusing on inside yourself is what is going to grow and become more dominant. And our dominant assumptions are what we manifest in our reality. I want you to understand those steps because they're very important. And I didn't really get it until I understood that and put the pieces together, because Neville's wording is kind of odd if you read or listen to The Power of Awareness or anything to do with the wish fulfilled. You have to be really aware of where your mind is going and where it's putting the focus on. Everyone is us pushed out. If you are experiencing things in your relationship that you do not prefer, I want you to simply take your attention off of that relationship. And I want you to put it back on yourself. And I want you to go within. And I want you to look at things that maybe you would have done in the past. And I want you to create a new version of that person and of yourself. Who would you be if you had the relationship show up the way you wanted it to? And you can write it down. You can write down who you would be, how you would feel. And I want you to only give attention to that. I want you to live in your imagination as if that relationship is showing up how you want it to show up. And I don't want you to give focus or attention to anything else. I don't want you going into the past. I don't want you looking at things that happened in the past. I don't want you focusing on the 3D. I don't want you focusing on the circumstances. None of that matters. Leave it alone for now because we're creating from within. Okay? I'm doing this video different because I want to sort of walk you through a coaching session if I was speaking to someone who was struggling with something, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. When a client had a relationship that was ended by their person, they were devastated. But they knew inside that something was off. They wanted the relationship to work. They didn't understand what was going on because the connection was so strong. So when they came to me, I showed them and I brought into their awareness that the relationship didn't have to be over if they didn't want it to be over. Okay? Because we solidify our 3D. The 3D doesn't solidify us. Only if you give your power away, which we're not doing because you're here watching this video. So we don't give our power away. When you want something, you have a desire, you can manifest it. And you will not let anyone tell you different. I don't care what anyone says. I have plenty of people around me that would tell me things for a long time that I couldn't do. And in my mind, I would just be like, I don't really care what you say. I know what I'm going to do. No one tells me what to do. Now, if you don't have that adamant way about you, you can just develop it. You can develop that identity that I don't allow other people to dictate what I can and can't do. So needless to say, the person got the relationship back and then lost it again, got the relationship back, then lost it again. They had to go within and change their identity within themselves before the person showed up, stayed, and was the version that they wanted them to be, okay? The person kept saying that they weren't ready for the relationship, they, blah, 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 whatever the circumstances are. They don't really matter because we don't deal with circumstances here. We solve the problem here. We get the desire to manifest. And in order to get the wish fulfilled, there's no one to change but self. I want you to take your power and recognize that there's nothing that is outside of you. And the other thing I want to mention is I've been seeing a ton of videos while I'm posting and, doing this work about, labeling people that are avoidant or, anxious and all these attachment things and a lot of psychology things. I have a master's in counseling. I like psychology, but don't get stuck in it. Don't get distracted in these labels. They're not really real. That's just more ego stuff to distract you, okay? We're not blaming anyone outwardly. We're taking responsibility, and we're here to do the work. I have UPS outside. My dog's going to start barking. But I'll be back with another video. I just want to encourage you, focus on your state. Keep your shit private. Don't listen to people that don't believe the law because it's real. And you have the ability within you to create whatever it is that you desire. I don't care what circumstances you've had in the past or you have now. If you want coaching, if you want help manifesting, getting your desires, I am available for one-on-one coaching. Otherwise, I'll be back with another video. And if you have anything that you want me to speak on, more deeply or more clearly, because this stuff is very deep and it can get complicated. I'm trying to explain it as simply as possible because I've been through it and it took me a couple of years to even understand what was going on. So I hope this video helps. Please like, comment, and share.